You're listening to the Business and Life Conversations podcast with Angela Henderson, episode 214. Hey there, you're listening to the Business and Life Conversations podcast. My name is Angela Henderson, and on this show, we talk about improving your business, life, or both by having amazing and rich conversations with brilliant guests who will inspire you and who will give you tips and tricks to help you grow both in life and in business. Well, hey there, you amazing human. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Business and Life Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Ange, from Angela Henderson Consulting, where I'm an international award-winning business consultant and coach who has helped thousands of amazing women business owners get all the pieces in place to have consistent 4- and 5-figure months and then on to 6- and 7+ figure years without burning out in the process. Today is a solo episode, just you and I hanging out, and I'm going to share with you the 2 major ingredients that allowed me to take a total of 4 weeks away from my business. It initially was going to be 3 weeks, and then it ended up being 4 solid weeks. It was awesome. Not going to lie about it. There was some good parts. There were some bad parts. And that's what, again, I like doing these podcast episodes because I'm going to get to share with you behind the scenes of really what went on over the last 4 weeks. And also, I'll share with you exactly how many hours I worked during this time because transparency is super important to me and something I don't feel a lot of business coaches fully disclosed. This is not a long episode, not long at all, but maybe an episode that will spark something inside of you. Maybe getting you thinking, maybe getting you to make some changes. Again, it will all be dependent on what you need in your business right now. Speaking of business, I've been in business now for 12 years, starting out with my first e-com business, Finley and Me, and then starting Angela Henderson Consulting. And I'm here to tell you that in the 12 years of being in business, I've never disconnected from my business the way I have over the last 4 weeks. At times, there was massive discomfort. And let me just emphasize the word massive. But this discomfort, it's taught me so much. So many people have reached out asking, how the hell were you able to do this, Ange? To take off 4 consecutive weeks. People have said, was it systems? Was it my team? And I'm here to answer, yes, 150% systems and team have been a big part of this. And without systems and team, I would have drowned. But there have been 2 other ingredients that have allowed me to create beautiful memories with my friends and family. Do you know what those are? Any guesses as you're sitting here listening to this podcast episode? The additional ingredient, my mindset. And the last ingredient with a little bit of dash of awesomeness, my energy. I've had to put in the work to up my inner game, to get okay with being enough, to know it's safe to take 4 weeks off, to surrender, to trust the process, and also believing in divine timing. And divine timing is just that everything is working for you right now in the moment. I'm grateful for these 4 weeks off, and I'm here for creating more of this freedom in my life because the last 4 weeks was exactly what I needed to enter the next phase of my business and life. These last 4 weeks have given me so much, and I also feel there's so much more to come, but it's still kind of like just recalibrating in my current body. Number 1, it allowed me to connect with my kids, my family, and my friends. This connection of being able to see family from back home in Canada after so long and so many people passing away in my family was incredible. It filled my heart, it fed my soul, and the smile, it didn't leave my face. The second thing that the last 4 weeks has given me is increase my mindfulness. Those 4 weeks off allowed me to be present and to be stimulated in a way that I haven't been in a very long time. And the third thing that the last 4 weeks has given me is that taking time off has also improved the capacity to learn. Let me explain. There have been things I've been trying to process, but due to the noise and the clutter in my head, it just wasn't possible to grasp everything. But what I know is that when your brain is completely relaxed, it consolidates knowledge and brain power. In fact, quote, neuroscience is so clear that through PET scans and MRIs that the aha moments come when you're in a relaxed state of mind. This is said from someone by the name of Bridget Schultz, who's the author of Overwhelmed, Work, Love, and Play When No One Has the Time. That's why It's no surprise that we have our best ideas on walks and in showers or on vacation. So not only have I had the chance to learn, but the amount of ideas that have been stimulated from these 4 weeks has been nothing but crazy. And the fourth thing that these 4 weeks off allowed me to have in my world is it improved my mental health. I was feeling slightly stressed and anxious prior to going on my holiday for a few health reasons and other factors, but by taking the time off and to step away, my stress levels and anxiety has decreased. I mean, how awesome is that? Now, these are the positives that I had while taking 4 weeks off, but let me let you in on a few things that may not have gone so well. There was one night in Idaho, I woke up in pure panic about 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, sweats, my heart was bracing. I felt most out of my comfort zone that night. I felt almost like out of control. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but then I had to be present. I had to get my journal out. I had to calm the fuck down. And what I realized was the reason why I was in panic mode was I felt I wasn't enough, that I wasn't doing enough, that I should be doing more for my clients, more for my kids, more for my family. The reality is that my body wasn't coping with having this much time off, and it was looking at sabotaging it the rest of the holiday. And this is why my mindset and my energy work, allowed me to take this amount of time off without doing that inner work. Would have been a hot mess for the entire 4 weeks. I would have been a hot mess by pulling out the laptop. I would have been a hot mess by canceling things with family and friends. I would have been a hot mess. But what I can say, I will forever be grateful for doing the inner work, for crying those ugly tears, for getting vulnerable in my hypnotherapy and healing sessions. In addition, 4 weeks off also meant that all my clients were 100% taken care of. That is my number one thing in my business, is my clients. But my bigger picture, my working on the business plans, got put to the side. But also my team was waiting for a few things on me. I was slowing up the process. So this part hasn't been ideal. However, I had to trust that I was right on time and that the divine timing, that everything was working for me, but also that I just needed those 4 weeks to recalibrate, right? This is what it looks like. It wasn't all roses. It wasn't all glam, but it was exactly what I needed. And for those curious as to how many hours I worked, I can confirm that I worked a total of 20 hours. That was combined with client work that had already been scheduled back in December last year when I did the yearly planning, catching up with the team. And also, so that worked out to approximately, give or take, 5 hours per week over those 4 weeks. Again, I batch recorded my podcast before I left. I batch recorded my newsletters before I left. I batch recorded my content. But by spending that a little bit of time, it allowed me the free time. It allowed me the time to just sit in those moments where I just smiled at family. It allowed me, like I said, to be present. So my final words to you, take the fucking break. Take the break for you. Take the break for your soul. Take the break for your family. Take the break for your future self. Take the fucking break. Before we wrap up, if you've been listening to my podcast for the last few months, if you've been wanting to work with me, then I encourage you to reach out and get in contact with me so we can explore how I can support you for the rest of 2022. If you're wanting to make 5 to 10K months, then Profit Pillars might be right for you. If you're already hitting 20 plus K months, then my mastermind might be the right fit for you, or maybe some one-on-one support. Either way, you don't have to do business alone. Trust yourself and remember it's safe and okay to invest in working with someone to move you and your business forward. You can head to angelahenderson.com.au and fill in the contact me form so we can discuss how I can support you in the role of your business consultant and coach. And let's make shit happen. And before I sign off, please remember that my team and I will be putting together the show notes for this episode at angelahenderson.com.au. Have a fabulous day, you amazing human. And I look forward to you joining me next week for another awesome episode of the Business and Life Conversations podcast. Take the break. Thanks for listening to the Business and Life Conversations podcast with Angela Henderson. www.angelahenderson.com.au